A lesson in free. Did you know that dragon fruit has thorns? It's a beautiful fruit, not very sweet, but beautiful. But the plant, however, is not very beautiful. It's nice and green, it has thorns that poke out from the side every now and then. And how do I know this? Well, from personal experience. I was asked to move a bunch of dragon fruit leaves from the backyard to the front yard. They'd been sitting out there for who knows how long. My dad just wanted to get rid of them. He'd already uprooted the plant, only thing left was moving it out. He said we could put it on our front lawn and people would want it. Some people will sell this thing. Really? So we moved out to the front and put up a Craigslist ad, and right away I saw people coming by. A Vietnamese man who was well prepared. He brought gloves and cardboard boxes to pad his trunk so he wouldn't get his car dirty. While he's there, another lady in a minivan pulls up. This is like less than half an hour after the ad is posted. While it wasn't quite as busy as a Starbucks drive-thru, people kept on coming. And while I thought the big pieces would be taken and the small ones left, all of them were taken. The lawn was plucked completely clean. And that's the power of free. Maybe people during this pandemic picked up gardening, they want to try something new, and with free, how can you lose, right? One lady asked my dad, how do you plant this thing? She doesn't even know how to plant this thing. His response was, I don't know. I got it in a pot. But free things go fast, apparently. Let me give you a little bit of a math lesson on the concept of free. What's the difference between 2 cents and 1 cent? 1 penny. Okay? What's the difference between 1 cent and 0 cents? Infinity. It's just a different concept altogether. It's not a 50% discount, it's not a 98% discount, it's not a 100% discount, it's just free. There are whole books written about the concept of free, and I think it's a fascinating concept, but it's not a new concept. In fact, it's a very old concept, as old as stone. The stone in the story of Stone Soup. Never heard of it? Well, let me tell you about it. There was a wanderer who came to town. Usually townsfolk were very friendly people, coming out to say hello, asking, hey, you want to try some of this bread I just baked? But this town the people were very cold. Nobody greeted him. He sat in the town square alone. But it's okay because he had a plan. He brought a big cauldron and put water in it and his stone and started cooking. The townsfolk were intrigued. What's wrong with this man? Is he crazy? You could just cook a stone? They trickled out to watch, and eventually one ventured up to him and asked, how is the stone soup? Delicious, he exclaimed after trying it. It's so good, though, of course it would be better if there were a little bit of tomato, but alas, nobody here has any tomato. And a murmur goes through the crowd, and one person raised his hand, I have tomato, I'll go get it. And I'm sure you get the rest of the story, right? Every time somebody asks him how the stone soup was, he tastes a little bit, says, it's delicious. Though it would be better if there were a little bit of potato or beef or this or that. And eventually there's a full-on soup with all the works in it. And while all the town folks partook in it because everybody had it at the end, they all exclaimed how amazing it was that a stone was so tasty. I remember talking to a colleague about different cultures and how they viewed money. It wasn't rich dad, poor dad exactly, rather Japanese dad and Chinese mom, with all the stereotypes followed exactly. Her Japanese dad would just buy whatever he needed whenever he needed it. He didn't wait for a sale. If he saw it, he needed it, he bought it. His mom was a completely different story. She'd buy something and realize, wait a minute, it's cheaper in another store. Something cheap like $5. Who cares? Toilet paper, right? And then she'd call her daughter and say, hey, we got to go to the store again. Why? My colleague would respond. Well, we got to go return this item and go to the other store to buy it because it's cheaper. My brother recently drove from California to Idaho to get some stuff. It's hard to ship, and it's cheap there apparently. But it's also 900 miles one way. But people go crazy for free stuff. They love free stuff. They drive hours to get free stuff. Why? Because it's risk-free. See, if you buy something you think is cheap, you may feel regret. Not everything is returnable, but if you get it for free, well, no big deal. It's free, after all. There's no regret. It's like samples. You get them for free. You don't like it? That's fine. You didn't buy the whole package at Costco. Especially the Costco-sized package. Look how many chicken breasts there are in one package. But yeah, no loss, right? Not sure. Remember a colleague complaining about this restaurant she went to? It's supposed to be a high-end Chinese restaurant. She spent $100, but the food wasn't that good. But she wasn't complaining about the money that was wasted. She complained about how the calories were wasted. Stomach space. She's already overweight. She can't spare any extra calories on bad food. Driving to get something isn't free either. Standard mileage rates, about the cost it'd be to operate a car, as in maintenance fees and gas, are 58 cents a mile. If you drove an hour or 60 miles, that's $70 because you got to make the round trip. So your free item you drove 1 hour to get is $70? Wow. But why is free so popular? Because it helps put off these difficult, hard choices till later. Many times we have to choose at the supermarket, do I get this brand I saw on TV or the store brand? The brand you saw on TV is cheaper. No brainer. But it's not. And with something being free, using logic of whether it's cheaper or better value, you don't have a decision to make. Because free is the best value. The problem is it's fake. You're still making a decision. You're trading time for money because you spend your time getting that stuff. May not be exactly what you need, exactly what you wanted. You may not have wanted to grow dragon fruit. You may have wanted to grow papaya, but dragon fruit's free, right? You may have wanted a piece of clothing, but this is not the right style, not the right size, but I could make do. Or you may have to fix it up like a piece of junk bike you find on the side of the road. But if you're retired, have all the time in the world, maybe you don't care, you don't have to worry about making decisions, you just go with whatever is free. But I recommend you still learn how to make good decisions because one day you may have to decide between free couches. With all of them being free, how do you decide?